Deportation Island, that's what some are calling it. Nauru, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, has signed a deal with Australia to take its illegal migrant criminals. Branded a penal colony by opponents, the island has taken more than £1 billion to host the migrants. Is this a deal Britain could emulate? Australia, not a member of the ECHR, has been able to disapply human rights law to allow the deportation of foreign criminals in its amendment to the Migration Act. Opposition parties slammed the Labour government for acting against its normally pro-migrant principles.
This horrific, monstrous bill. You've never seen us, people of colour, migrants of colour, as equals.
Australia's immigration regime is so brutal that even Trump points to it and said, "That's a good idea. We should do that too."
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese was accused of secrecy around the deal, the details of which, including the mammoth $2.5 billion Australian cost, only emerged at a Senate hearing.
So they get $70 million per year for 30 years. In the order of 70 million, but that money will be split between the trust fund and payments direct to Nauru.
These are people who do not have a legitimate reason to stay in Australia. They've been found to have no rights to be here.
That's
and
right.
Therefore,
so
people have no right to be here.
So you're paying off a poor country to take them?
No, people who have no right to be here need to be found somewhere to go.
Okay, so just tell me about the deal. 400 million, is it up front?
If they can't go home, well, you can, use your own...
well, I don't know, because it's not my deal, it's your deal. Is it 400 million up front?
Well, you do know. There's a range of arrangements in place between us and the Nauruan government.
They say in a statement...
It's about protecting Australia's interests.
Okay.
And we make no apologies.
But for some, the action was not enough. Senator Pauline Hanson said the Labour government was secretly allowing ISIS brides to return to Australia under the public's noses while the government appeared to crack down on immigration.
As a journalist, I always need to remember more in less time. And you know what I really hate? Taking notes. It wastes loads of time and you forget stuff. And that's where Plord comes in. This is the Plord Note, a sleek, pro-level AI note-taker that records and creates notes for you. Whether you're listening to a long podcast, stuck in a meeting, or on an important call, Plord captures everything at the tap of a button. Then it gives you a smart, structured summary with all of the key takeaways. It even recognises different speakers by their voice, and you can choose from bullet points, to-do lists, or even mind maps. Your data's safe too, with end-to-end encryption and global privacy compliance. And with Plord's built-in AI, you can search everything you've ever recorded just by asking a question. It's slim, magnetic, under 30 grams, lasts up to 60 days on standby, and over 1 million people are already using it. Hit the link in the description and use code GB10 for £10 off your Plord order. Save hours of time and never miss a detail again. Link in the description below.
Labor's move to secretly repatriate people who joined with the Islamic State has sparked widespread concern among Australians. This raises serious issues which the Senate should immediately debate. Issues of transparency, of a government cover-up, of national security, border integrity and the risk to Australia's community. We must debate it now, because we have a Prime Minister refusing to answer questions about it, and we have a Labor government even saying they're not actually responsible for it. How could these people even have a chance of returning here if the government wasn't permitting it to and wasn't facilitating it? It is our job to debate these issues and ensure the government keeps our community safe. We must never forget the savagery of the Islamic State terrorist group. They burned innocent people alive. They took innocent girls as sex slaves after killing their families. They recruited evil people from around the world to join them. They ordered or inspired deadly terrorism right here in Australia. In September 2016, they deliberately told their followers in Australia, kill them on the streets in Brunswick, Broadmeadows, Bankstown and Bondi, kill them at the MCG, the SCG, the Opera House and even in their backyards. Some people in Australia responded with enthusiastic depravity. Islamic State inspired an 18-year-old man to stab 2 Victorian police officers at Endeavour Hills in 2014. They inspired the siege of the Lint Cafe in Sydney's Martin Place, in which 2 innocent people died. Islamic State praised the actions of the hostage taker, calling him a righteous jihadist.
The left wing in the country, however, decry what they believe are Trump-style anti-migrant policies.
The Albanese government is about to go further than what even Donald Trump is doing to refugees and migrants in the United States. Tomorrow, it's going to try to ram through a bill that will remove the right to procedural fairness for non-citizens in this country, a fundamental cornerstone of our country. Right at a time where we've got neo-Nazis rallying and our social cohesion and multiculturalism is under attack. This is what they're doing. Right now, in secret, the same party that demanded transparency and accountability when in opposition when it came to sending people to Nauru is now planning to deport hundreds of people there. It signed a secret deal last week for $408 million. This after 12 years of misery and suffering, of deaths, of rapes, of miscarriages, of all sorts of incredible horrors that have happened there. It's why we got kids off Nauru. It's why we had Medivac, and they're about to condemn some of the most vulnerable people seeking asylum, refugees and migrants. And this is why they're trying to get rid of procedural fairness tomorrow in Parliament. We're calling on you to email your MPs and senators, click on that link, asking them to oppose this bill tomorrow. This is cruel and inhumane and unjust, and we cannot and will not stand for it. This is an attack on our rule of law and of our multiculturalism and of our democracy. And this is on the back of the 3 brutal bills that they ran through last year that allows the Australian government to deport people to offshore countries, to warehouse them in some of the poorest countries on earth. But it gets worse. Under the bills they ran through last year that they're leveraging now, it allows them to be indemnified from whatever happens to people once they've removed them to a third country. So Nauru could actually deport people back to the country that they fled persecution and death from. Some of these people that they're thinking of sending are people already accepted as refugees by Australia. So Australia could be sending people to torture and death.
Many will hope Keir Starmer could follow the Australian Labor Party's example. And it was under Tony Abbott's right-wing government that the country pioneered offshore processing.
What my government did was, when the boats were scuttled, we would put them on a mothership. We'd put the would-be illegal migrants onto a mothership. And then at an appropriate time, we would put them in a big orange unsinkable life raft with just enough fuel to get the 12 miles from the international boundary to the beaches of Java. And I can remember seeing on the front page of our newspaper in early 2014 a big orange life raft washed up on the beach of Java. It was the whole front page photo, and I thought, we've won this, because the message will go out loud and clear to the people smugglers and their clients: the way is closed. Now, it's a lot easier to get from Calais to Dover in a rubber ducky than it is to cross the 300 miles of open sea between Java and Christmas Island. So there are more boats more frequently. And France is not Indonesia when it comes to perhaps landing people back on the shores of France. But where there's a will, there's a way. And the will, frankly, is what's been lacking. There has been insufficient will on the part of the British government and on the part of the British apparatus generally to send people back. And one of the things that I think Britain could well consider as a prelude to perhaps more vigorous action in the English Channel is more vigorous action by the Royal Navy in the Mediterranean to land boat people back on the shores of Libya and the other ungoverned or scarcely governed spaces from which they're originally coming. That would show the French and the Italians goodwill, and I think it would give Britain, if you like, more of a moral upper hand in insisting that boat people apprehended in the Channel are going back to France.
Nick Dunning, GB News.